I believe we should start the show.
Right on.
'Tis true. That brings us to our live discussion, the Itty Bitty Nerdy Committee. I'm Beastie Boy.
I'm Table.
I'm Red.
And it is I, Shino Brando.
And we'll be discussing recent news from across the multiverse, live from video games, anime, comics, and more. And stick around after the news to hear us discuss a newly released comic of the week.
It's a doozy this week, I promise.
Ooh.
We found a good one.
All right.
All right.
So, on with the show?
Beastie, where would you like to begin?
Surprise me.
Yes, sir. Surprise.
That a boy. I like it.
Because I have two, and I'm like, I could do either one, so.
You have two, not three? Good. Solid.
Or no, three, whatever, depending on how you separate it then.
Beastie, not great at counting. Don't worry about it.
Outriders is
No,
on screen
stop.
right now.
I like this. This looks nice.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah. That board is sexy.
It is a pretty sexy border.
Yeah. I do not see.
It's
is
there,
available?
I promise.
Not seeing it, my guy.
Are you okay, buddy?
It's legit.
the,
Not showing up on my.
Outriders.
It should be there. It is there.
On Twitch, it's not.
Oh, it's. I'm seeing it too.
There we go. Okay, transitioned.
There you go.
Ooh, that tells me something about
That's
your
lit.
internet there, buddy, my pal.
Oh.
That'd be weird because should be fine.
Are you
Anyways,
hardwired in?
nonetheless. It's not even that. It's usually fine.
You should be
But
hardwired in. Anyway, Outriders today.
Anyway, Outriders has been delayed till April 1st.
Oh,
So
Say less.
this is a game that was kind of talked about, I believe. I don't know if it was close to E3 or so, but it is a game that is kind of closer to. It's like Mass Effect meets Diablo, is what it is, or it's been told.
okay.
So there's been just some more gameplay, if anything, of just how it kind of works and how everything is put together. But yeah, the demo is coming in February though to try it out. So if people are interested, I believe February 1st was sorry. The demo will be made available to February 25th.
Okay.
So yeah, the demo will then include the first few hours of the game with all 4 classes that can be played in single player or cooperative modes in the quote of the article. So, if people want to try it out, yeah, we can see what happens. But yeah, so technically this was supposed to come out like pretty much sooner, like either technically this coming month or before that. But yeah.
Okay.
But hey, let's just let it,
Let it simmer. Let it cook. Yeah.
Yes,
let
let it simmer. Get that proper
let
simmer.
that roast happen. Yeah, I hear you.
Exactly.
I hear you. Yeah.
Because unlike.
I mean,
Sorry, go ahead.
just thinking that these days, people are going to have weird expectations for a game that gets delayed, Looking at you, Cyberpunk.
I was gonna mention
As long
that.
as it comes out and, runs on most computers and doesn't brick people's PlayStations, I think it'll be okay.
Listen, as
People
long
can wait.
as you can play that game on both the PS4 generation and the PS5 generation, and on a half-decent computer, and you don't need to spend $2K to run at 60 frames,
Hey, I hear you.
it's a fine game.
There you go.
Damn straight.
Right,
just
if
want to see.
Shovel Knight can run fine on everything on the 3DS, it's fine.
Hey.
It's fine.
Hey. Well, I'm interested. You said Mass Effect and Diablo, so those are two nice things.
I'm
Alright.
interested just to see because
Mm.
it got me with a Mass Effect, but I was like, I don't know Diablo because I haven't played it, right? So I'm just like,
Well,
know.
I dungeon crawl all kinds, so I'm kind of interested in that.
yeah. So it'll be
I know
interesting
many
to see.
people that would really, really like that.
I
Mhm.
hear it. I'm feeling it right now too. I really am.
There was an interesting quote before I switch over to the next part of the news, but it was from the article. It was they quoted saying, We believe it's important that players get to experience a new IP like Outriders before release, said the statement, so that you can decide for yourselves whether the game is something you wish to pre-order, purchase, or play.
Well,
That
thank you.
is some sort of community detail that I super enjoy.
Mm-hmm.
I really like, there's that Tony Hawk game that came out last summer or so, right? Tony Hawk Pro Skater 1 and 2 remastered.
Mm-hmm.
They let you play the demo, the first stage, and within a week, they were pretty much ready to go. They were ready for release.
You mean
there was a
beta access?
There was a game called My Apologies Table.
Ignore me. I'm making stupid comments to my cat.
I understand. There was this game called Deus Ex Machina for the Nintendo Switch. And it had like 5 or 6 different betas because they wanted to get everything perfect. And at the end of every single beta, I played through most of them. They send you a questionnaire with the email that's on your Nintendo account asking you to rate how the game and parts of the game were. I cannot describe to you like how much in control of the game I was like being a part of. I was part of a fan base, I was part of a community, a part of the actual creation of a video game. How really like heartwarming that felt.
Yeah, well that's real community and like, you know, like customer service.
Yeah, I didn't feel like just the consumer anymore. I felt like a fan, like someone to be like impressed.
Good,
yeah,
man.
well that's the thing. It's if that's how people want to go about new IPs, I am so fucking here for it. Because if you think about the games industry, right? A lot of the stuff that AAA has been releasing for a while now are just sequels to shit.
Yeah.
And the beta to a sequel is just the previous fucking game. So you don't have to release that kind of thing. Exactly. Because you know that if people played the last one and enjoyed it, they'll play this one and they'll enjoy it. Presumably.
Any sports game.
Yeah, exactly. But with new games that aren't just derivative from something else, you actually have to make an effort and try and figure out if people are going to like it or not.
Oh my god.
Which, truly shocking.
Make a game, you mean?
I would never suggest that.
Looking at you, Anthem?
Looking at you, No Man's Sky, in the first 3 years of release.
Cyberjunk 2077?
Bruh. I'm blaming that on not the developers, but more or less just leadership, because leadership was ass. The developers made their game. They were trying to do what they're doing. Leadership should have done better.
I hear you.
Yeah, fair.
Because, like, you know, people, like, obviously anybody who's making a game or helping voice, stuff like that, like, they're doing what they can. Leadership knew what they were doing, and it's like, come on.
Okay, before we move on, I gotta ask you guys, what's your favorite cyberpunk glitch you've heard about? Because my favorite is that someone mentioned that they killed a guy and his arm turned into a patio set.
Oh, that's brilliant!
Wow,
that's brilliant.
Like what?
I don't have a favorite glitch. I just like the fact that the game has no physics, really.
No. Oh god.
I haven't heard. Well, I've seen a bit, but I think I'm not sure if it was before the patch, but basically there was one of the missions. Basically, I think you're supposed to get this like type of gun or do this one thing for one of the, I guess, clients. You're basically supposed to go around and then like you're supposed to get this gun, but then the girl like glitches and moves around in like a spastic movement.
Oh god!
And the video, like when you see it, it looks so funny to me. Just the way, because she's supposed to be holding a gun and just supposed to like move on to the next thing, but she's just like robotically like spazzing around as if she's got like the shimmies or something. It's like ridiculous.
Also,
she has the urge to dance.
I also like how none of the citizens have really like real AI. So like they like I like the comparisons of like GTA 5 where like if you stop someone in traffic, they will cuss you, they will drive around you, right? Cyberpunk, they'll literally stop and just sit there. idle.
Yeah, for some of them, it's been like that. Like there was supposed to be like there's points of like where it does pay attention, but like the AI has been like still wonky from what I've seen.
I also love that their children characters just look like the adults but smaller.
Oh no, it's that.
Bro,
It's
they
the
took the
Keanu
lazy way
meme
out.
with Keanu with shrunken Keanu.
Oh my gosh.
I'm really sorry to have derailed this news. That game sucks so bad, and my roommate's boyfriend tried to defend it to me, and I was like, no, you shut up.
No, just no.
My
It's
guy,
okay, buddy.
when I was talking earlier about needing $2,000 worth of hardware to run a game at 30 FPS, no,
No.
that's crisis
called
levels
bad.
of bad.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, it does
Okay,
work,
BC,
but you won't... Go ahead.
Sorry, no, I was just gonna try and move us on, but if you have something to say, we can stick here for a bit.
Absolutely not. Hey, Beastie, let's talk about...
Deathloop.
Yes, sir.
There you go.
Oh, okay. What's this?
Yeah, so this is kind of older news, but this will tie into what I need to talk about next. So, Deathloop has been delayed to the second quarter of 2021, which is going to be now spring quarter. Yeah, the spring quarter for PS5. So, yeah, so we were technically supposed to get it, obviously, in the release of PS5 and all that stuff.
Okay.
So, yeah, they're kind of aiming for that window, but obviously things happen. The Dishonored developers basically just want to hold back and like, hey, we'll try, like, you know, try to do what we can here, but we just got to hold back a little bit more because of COVID and all that stuff, or, you know, Backstreet Boys coming back. So,
they're back again.
Yeah, right. So they're like, hey, we're doing what we can, but we'll get us out once we have everything and once everybody's safe and all that stuff. So basically, they're trying to work on that. Following right after this is Arcane Studios, the people that make Deathloop and Dishonored. Oh, sorry. Oops. I didn't go to my next news.
There you go.
Yeah, there we go. Okay, so the co-creator, Harvey Smith, for Dishonored, is now working on an unannounced new game with people from Prey or the team from Prey and Dishonored.
Okay.
So he's gonna be working with he's gonna be working with the developers there, just on something that's completely unannounced. But from where we are in that standpoint, like since we're still in early quarter one, basically he's just like, hey, we're kind of doing what we need to do for the game. I can move on and, you know, let the team do the rest of the thing. So basically in the dark of what it is. But he didn't make any other mentions of what the project could be or like how far the project would be to start anyways. But I think they're like the early production of like getting things together for it. So yeah.
Cautiously optimistic.
So
Mostly confused.
Also, yeah, that's the thing. So we basically just have to wait for it and see what happens. Basically.
Okay.
Sure.
Sure.
But an update of that for Deathloop then comes up to Deathloop will be coming around PS5 and PC on May 21st. So roughly around then, we should see something.
No old gen hardware?
Hopefully.
Yeah, mostly. Because there's nothing about later, like, gen. Or, sorry, earlier gen, sorry.
Bruh. Like, I know what position I put myself in, but, like, by May, I don't know if I want to buy a PS4 or PS5.
I'm still going to sit that out and wait, man. I got time.
Well, probably by May, like, we'll have a handful more games instead of just, like, you know, Sackboy.
Yeah.
Don't get me wrong, I want to play Little Big Planet, whatever that one's called, Sackboy's Big Adventure. I'm pretty sure that's the title, honestly. But, like,
so, yeah,
that's not worth paying $800 for the console right now.
Well,
that's why I didn't buy a PS3 on launch.
Jesus.
Just wait it out, man. I'm waiting that shit out, dude. I'm not in any rush. A year, 2 years from now, I don't give a fuck. It'll be around for a while, so.
This whole year have to kind of wait for a little bit anyways for either exclusive or games, so I'm not pressed.
Exactly. Like, I gotta, you know, sit around and wait and see if I have to make, like, an underground bunker soon or not, because, like, shit's getting wild. So, before I get a PS5, I gotta, you know, just wait.
If I can draw one attention to our border here that's now up on the screen, I appreciate that our amazing artist who did this border for us put Digimon and Pokemon on different sides of the screen. Part of me just loves that. They put Agumon on one side and Charmander on the other side. Here's good stuff.
Hey man, there's some good things. That's great.
Look, they look very similar. You can't put them next to each other. That would be bad design. Our artist knows what they're about.
Yes,
Hey,
thank
it's
you.
on purpose. Good stuff. Awesome.
Thank you, artist. We always tell you that we appreciate you. You are a gifted scholar.
Mm-hmm.
Damn right.
So,
I believe that takes us to me for news.
Captain, where would you like to start?
Let's start with the Wonder Woman news.
Captain, here you are.
So we've got a preview for the Sensational Wonder Woman, #1. And weird is where we're going with this. It's, from what we can tell, it looks like Diana is currently trapped in a like alternate reality via Dr. Psycho, in which she is a 1950s housewife.
Whoa.
I'm not super jazzed about that. Gonna be real. The print version is available March 2nd, and the cover looks fantastic. Like that snippet of art you guys can see, that's part of the cover. So it's not like they're not putting effort into it. So I'm gonna choose to believe that it's not gonna suck a whole bunch. But I am deeply, deeply suspicious. And do you want to guess the name of her 1950s husband?
Is it, if it's not Steve Trevor, I don't know who it is. Who is it?
I don't know, but his name is Douglas.
Douglas.
Yeah.
My guy Douglas, like
Yeah.
Well, he's about to be. He's Diana's guy, Douglas. Diana and Douglas, I don't like it.
Agreed. It's gonna be a story, certainly. And, it might be interesting. Because, obviously, like, you're trapped in a weird alternate reality in which you're living a completely different life where you're theoretically harmless to your foes. Interesting. Very interesting. But you know what's not interesting? Depowering a female character just because you think she looks sexy in a 1950s dress.
Now, listen. Okay? You know what? Yeah, you know what, I'm going off. Because, like, they put Wanda in a 1950s dress, but guess what? They did an I Love Lucy style in a very particular way as to not show that she's, the only word that's coming to mind is submissive that way.
That's the word you're going to have to use here, I'm afraid.
Unfreaking fortunate. If
'cause
they
that,
cannot pull their head out of their ass, do we know who's writing it?
are they going back to the trope of that if that was the theme in this book for like a long time until
And how dare they cop the name of the comic she first appeared in? And that's what they're going to do with the character.
I don't have words. It's being written by Stephanie Phillips.
Obviously.
It's written by Stephanie Phillips, which is interesting.
Really?
Isn't that the same person that's doing the new Harley Quinn book?
Maybe? You're the one with the copy of that, so you tell me.
No, Significant Other has the copy of that.
Oh, understood. The artist is Megan Hetrick. The colorist, Marissa Louise. The letterer is Pat Brousseau. Cover was done by Yasmin Putri. The editor is Michael McAllister. So there's 2 dudes involved in this project, which I have a lot of questions. But
listen,
look, if they get back into bondage Diana, because that's what she was in a lot of her early stuff, I'm going to have opinions on that.
We're going to have a whole bunch of fucking opinions, and a lot of them are going to start with that word I just said.
Everything you're saying is giving you heartburn.
Listen, it's not like men cannot write Wonder Woman, okay? That's not the problem. Greg Pak, George Perez are some of the fundamental building blocks used to build Wonder Woman characters. That's what Patty Jenkins read to build Gal Gadot's vision of Wonder Woman. That's not the problem. The problem is when you start to misunderstand the character and go, you want to know what she needs? an apron.
No, we don't need any of that.
No.
I want to believe it'll be some sort of commentary on breaking gender roles. I really want to believe that's where it's going. But I am uncomfortable with that as a starting point and the way they're choosing to do this.
Big heckin' facts.
Oh,
I'll probably still pick up the number 1 if only so I can see that that's the case. But like,
Did you happen to mention what month this was coming out?
March 2nd is when the print version is available.
All right. Well, you can count on March 3rd. Or no, March 5th. We're going to do it right here on twitch.tv/Nerd Crusade.
Pause. My jimmies are fucking really rustled right now.
Go
man.
off, sir.
This is like, you know how I feel about the lady, right? You know how I hold her up in this house, man.
Right.
And everything
Rightly
I'm
so.
hearing, yeah, exactly. And everything I'm hearing is just took my jimmies and fucking rustled them up, man. I don't like any of that shit I'm hearing. I don't think, and you know me already. I'm a bit of a pessimistic motherfucker and a little bit of a cynic too. And shit like this, when I hear descriptions like that, I have little faith left in it because I don't like the way that sounds. So I don't know if that's gonna go over well, but on them, they better do it fucking well, man. Because to be honest with you, that shit sounds stupid.
Not
Agree.
giving anybody a lot of hope here.
Oh, I don't fucking like it. I think it sounds fucking stupid. Like it's
No,
the dumbest story you can be told.
Like, forever ago, approximately a million years, Red and I both read the what it wasn't the Unstoppable Wasp, was it?
It was the Unstoppable Wasp. It was the
Yeah.
story of Hank Pym and Janet Van Dyne's daughter.
Yeah, well, sort of adopted, whatever. It was complicated. That character's still around, but like she turns up and does stuff. But we tried to read that, and unfortunately, it wasn't very good because it tried really, really hard to be a girl power comic, and it's just, and to do that, it sacrificed coherency. It felt like
Coherency, character development, character design for that matter.
Yeah.
Oh, really writing people for a change.
Yeah, and I'm deeply worried that that's what this Wonder Woman's gonna do. It's going to try to tell a feminist story, and by doing so, it'll fail to write female characters.
I'm not digging it. It's too
That's
bad.
okay. Hey, you want to know what we can dig though?
What's
Things that belong in museums.
that?
Ha ha ha! Thank you for that segue.
You're
What
welcome.
is that? Right on.
So I don't know if you guys recall, but there is, technically speaking, talk of a 5th Indiana Jones movie.
Oh,
Disney
man.
so as much as announced that they were doing one final shot at the Indiana Jones franchise. Yes, I do recall something like that. Yes.
Yes. And it, the Backstreet Boys mean that it's been pushed back till July 2022 for its release, but it's still out there to the point where we have news about it.
Oh,
Yeah,
Go on.
so one of the actors from Raiders of the Lost Ark and then one of the other ones, I can't remember, there's so many titles, but
Well, it's
John
really
Rhys
four.
Davies
Mhm.
might be coming back for this 5th film.
That's Raiders of the Lost Ark.
At the very least, he said that he is interested in taking part in whatever's going on, and gave weird, shady answers to people asking, which might just be a person, trying to get back on the train, and might be an actual thing.
It
I'm
might just be
honestly
them
shocked.
dodging around NDAs. They might already be in the project.
Exactly. It's really hard to say. But I'm mostly I'll be honest. When I had heard about this, the thing that most surprised me is that they've actually managed to get Harrison Ford back for it. Because my understanding was he doesn't want to do that anymore.
Listen, Harrison Ford said, "I'll never do sequels." Then he did 3 Star Wars movies, and then he did 3 Indiana Jones movies, and then he came back for 4 for each one.
Yeah.
As long as the money talks, he'll show up.
that's what I was gonna say. I feel like it's just mostly the money that he's like.
Listen,
Hey,
when
so-
you work for an evil corporation,
Oh man.
and they can back up the money truck, bruh, Harrison Ford's great-great-grandkids are gonna be living off Indiana Jones 2 money.
Yeah, he's not stupid. He's got family to feed and mortgages to pay. He knows what he's doing.
It's just so strange because, like, his open disdain for all of the properties he's been involved in.
Especially that last Indiana Jones one. I'm sorry. That one we don't talk about?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Someone's fanfic that got filmed.
Yeah, unfortunately.
Wow. Man said
Hey,
fanfic.
I just noticed something,
good
and pardon me
summary.
for derailing a little bit. But
Mhm.
What?
the two Lucasfilm projects that Disney really likes to put money into, do you notice that, like, it seemed that fanfic writers seem to have taken over the last handful of films?
You don't
Look,
say.
I
Don't
just
do
put
us
that
dirty
together.
that way. I write
You don't
fanfic,
say.
and I write better fanfic than that. I could have written a better movie,
Shit.
but you're right. It's people just indulgently writing whatever the fuck they want into big overarching narratives because they want to leave a mark on the mythos. And it's like, I'll leave a mark on your face if you don't leave it alone.
Whoa.
Hey,
Damn.
yo, Table about to throw hands.
Bruh.
Table's about to use his legs
Yeah.
and throw hands.
Yeah, mother, she's about to press kick someone's face in, man.
Okay.
Okay.
Takes wood, motherfucker. Like,
Damn.
Okay.
I felt like your stand power just emitting from that.
I've just got a lot of strong feelings
I
about
felt some
people
Super
who-
Saiyan energy. I don't know about y'all.
Yeah.
People who just write stuff because they're like, I wanna change the face of the franchise, and it's like the franchise was fine before you came along. Don't fuck it up.
It
Bad.
didn't need you. It didn't want you. But
This
it
isn't
did it
comic
anyway.
books where you can just write it and then everybody forget about it if it's bad. No, you get seen.
No.
It will
Like-
never go away if you write something stupid and put it in a movie. We'll have it.
Sorry.
No, it's forever stuck with us. You know why? Because when I subscribe to their fucking app channel and I go to the library of Star Wars movies, it's included into the whole fucking collection. So I have no choice but to accept the fact that it's a thing and
Yeah.
it's part of it now. So, oh well. You know what though?
Mm.
Again, I was gonna tell you guys that I wanted to hold this discussion for another day. Right? I'm not gonna go deep in it right now, but like, there's many things to pick at this whole franchise, and I can do it all goddamn day. And yeah, like those last
You will
three.
have to go.
Yeah, those last three I want to really dissect. Really dissect with you guys.
I am so down for that. What someday? Ho ho.
But in the
I-
meantime, I believe Table has another piece of news for us.
One last piece of news. Yes. So I'm sure we have all heard that, Stephen King's books keep getting movies and shows and whatever. Well,
Mhm.
Revival is dead. It will not be happening. It was supposed to be by the same guy who did Doctor Sleep, and it's just not going to. That movie will no longer be going anywhere. It's a bit of a shame, but
Was it due to Backstreet Boys or is it something unrelated?
it's not entirely clear, but
Hmm.
he'll be moving on to a different project that's still a Stephen King novel, which is kind of frankly very perplexing. But because it makes me think that it couldn't have been a Backstreet Boys thing because he's going straight to a different project,
Right.
and it makes me think that it can't be because maybe the industry's decided Stephen King novels adaptations are no longer effective because he's going to a different one. So it must have been something related to the specific production of this one that just went down.
Okay.
Went icky.
Yeah, just okay. Cool.
Do we know
Weird,
what other
unfortunate.
project they're jumping to?
Yes, I believe it's called Midnight Mass.
I thank you for answering the question, but I still have no idea what either of those books are.
Let me quote: a show about an isolated community that begins to experience strange events after the arrival of a mysterious priest.
Once Upon a Time
Yeah,
Okay.
but with ghosts
and Stephen King.
and Stephen King, I guess.
Listen, I've had enough of Stephen King type events in my life, so I won't be watching any of these, but
Very, very valid.
Understood.
No, I figured I should just mention that so I wasn't trapped entirely in Saltville. But that's all I've got for news for today.
Okay.
But
Right,
hey,
what do you
know
got?
what? Oh boy. I so wish you would have done those things in another order, so that way, you know what? Segways, fuck a segue. The Justice Society is getting a movie.
Oh shit!
Justice Society World War II sets the voice cast. So, I'm grabbing this from the Hollywood Reporter. The upcoming Justice Society World War II will feature an ensemble cast led by Stana Katic as Wonder Woman and Matt Boomer as the Flash. It is the first of the universe's 42 films to star the team of heroes known as the Justice Society. And if you know me, you know that I love me some Justice Society.
You do.
And this is part of 42?
No, this is the 42nd.
Oh, okay. I was about to go,
Yeah.
what the hell?
No. DC doesn't plan things that far in advance. They actually, in their lifeblood, they can't.
If they try, it will fail. See Doomsday Clock.
Oh.
If they try, they will fail. See the New 52. Anyways.
I understand.
So, on screen, for those that aren't familiar, you've got The Flash, you've got Hawkman, you've got Wonder Woman in her Sensation Comics outfit. You've got, I believe that is, I believe that's, no, it's not Dr. Midnight. I'm blanking. And you've got the original Black Canary. No, that's Our Man.
That's the one.
Yeah, he's got a little clock on him.
I was losing it too. I was about to call him Dr. Hour. I'm like, that's not right. I'm gonna keep quiet.
So, the rest of the cast is as follows. You've got Elisa Rotaru as Black Canary, Chris Diamantopoulos as Steve Trevor.
Nice.
You've got Omin Abati as Hawkman. Hey, look, somebody of color as Hawkman. And then you've got legendary voice actor Matthew Mercer as Our Man.
Okay.
Wow, okay. That's a lineup.
Okay. Armin Taylor as Jay Garrick the Flash. Liam McIntyre as Aquaman. Ashley Lathrop as Iris West. Jeffrey Arend as Advisor. And you can't have the Justice Society without Dr. Fate. And Keith Ferguson will be playing Dr. Fate.
Oh, Dr. Fate. What a fucking guy.
Yep.
I love me the Justice Society, and mostly because it's yet another version of Legacy. Table here, and honestly, the rest of us love our Tim Drakes and our Cassandra Cain's, like the third Legacy character to take on a name. But what gets long forgotten is the first people to take names. The original Flash, the original Hawkman, Wonder Woman in her proper space, in my personal opinion. The original Black Canary. These people had roles and titles that, depending on where you're drawing from, and we'll get to what DC is currently drawing from in a little bit here, they came first, and Superman was inspired by them. When you are the spark that starts the fire, that is the literal man of hope, and people forget about you, you're done dirty.
Correct. It's also, you have to go where... Because, look, we love our superheroes in general. And our superheroes do not exist without these guys. Like, the concept of what it means to be a hero in the sense that we understand it today for our purposes starts there.
Without Jay Garrick, you don't have your Barry Allens, your Wally Wests, your Wallard West. Like, you don't have anybody. It is because of Jay Garrick you have the actual concept of a crisis. It is without Hawkman that you get some people that go, hey, comics are confusing. And I'm like, you know what? You're right.
Yeah.
But then you've got excellent writers that take on these properties and go, hi, in 3 issues I solved that.
I fix it.
Not many people remember the fact that Black Canary is actually a legacy title, and it irks me every time they don't. because
It's almost like people don't care about early female characters.
Not that people just don't care to go back.
right?
Which you can't entirely blame people for, because a lot of early comics, like Golden and Silver Age stuff, is hella inaccessible.
Well, that it's almost unreadable nowadays too. Some
True.
of
It is. In a project that may never see the light of day, Shino and I read a much older comic than any of us are usually used to, where Lois Lane decides that she wants a skin color change.
Yeah.
Ah,
Yeah. Ooh. What a book.
So, now, yeah, that exemplifies my point perfectly.
Yeah.
I only have the one piece of news, mostly because I'm very passionate about the JSA.
valid.
Oh,
And when this movie comes out,
okay.
I will be, like, just all over it. I will talk 6 ways from Sunday about it. There's no release date as of currently. It just is coming out.
All right. I look forward to that.
Me too. I might convince everybody to watch it. Who knows?
Well, you don't
I
gotta
don't
convince
think
me.
there would be much convincing, no.
Yeah, I'm just gonna do it.
So, Shino, my buddy, my pal,
Yes.
shall we go from some old DC to some new DC?
You know what? Throw it up.
Yes, sir, here you are.
All right. So some tidbits here and there, some things. On the left hand side, if you're looking at Steppenwolf and Darkseid, Snyder shared those recently to get everybody kind of amped for what's coming out in March. Keep that in mind. So the Snyder Cut's coming out in a few months. So he's just trying to keep that steam going, even though the entire world already knows what's going down. So we're all just waiting for. I can't remember the due date. I just know it's March.
I believe it's March 12th.
Thank you, March 12th. So I guess they're dropping all 4 in one shot, or I think they might do it weekly.
I hope they do it weekly, honestly, just to make those
Weekly
people that have
movie?
been like on the edge of their seat waiting for this, just to edge them a little bit more.
Keep coming back. It'd be smarter that way. I'm anticipating because of obvious reasons. So we'll wait and see what goes down. Over in that little corner is Affleck, and if you see a little bottom over there, there's Michael Keaton, and they've apparently both been reported to be in the upcoming Flash movie. So we're getting a couple of Batman in there.
Can I pause you here before you moved on to your slightly next point here?
Mm-hmm.
I promise at DC Fandom this past year, they straight up said this.
Yeah, they straight up said, but they weren't saying much capacity. But now it's like he's fully fully in there. Like they're both in the whole goddamn movie.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
I say that because this sounds like DC being like, "Hi, did you forget we're doing a Flash movie?" Okay.
Everybody else?
Right?
Yeah.
We heard, but like, has anyone cared for some time? No.
Is
What's
this
that watch? No.
us fans? Is it still with that guy that hit that fan? Yeah.
Damn.
Yeah, he's still there too. I mean, you know that camp. You know what they're up to.
Oh, buddy, do I?
Come on.
In our break
Right?
that we took, oh my god, the world exploded over there in that neck of the woods.
Oh, it did. Which brings me to that little corner article right there. That little one right there.
Segues, guys. I'm
Yeah.
on them today.
That little guy right there. So if you've seen that I can't pull up his name right now. I try to find my article, but I lost it. I pull up his name. That's it. Walter Hamada. So apparently this is the guy who gave Ray Fisher some grief as well.
Oh, so he's gonna catch hands too, is what we're.
Well, hear this. Cyborg was going to be in that same Flash film,
Mm-hmm.
for a cameo, but Cyborg's being written out. So Ray Fisher's last and only appearance will be in Justice League, and that is all you're getting.
I hate that. I hate that with my whole heart and soul.
So
I want to say something real quick. I heard about that part. I just didn't know what the cause of the reason why he was taken out. But now that I hear that, I am gonna throw hands at someone.
so listen,
Yeah.
like and I have an opinion. I'm gonna let you get all the way through your thought.
I'll let you finish.
Yeah, and then I'm gonna jump in with some controversial shit. So,
Okay. Well, according to Ray Fisher, he says his Lies in WBPR's a failed September 4th hit piece sought to undermine the very real issues of the Justice League investigation. So apparently, Hamada tried to impede the investigation, if not even try to outright cancel the whole thing, to just pretty much scrub Ray Fisher's arguments. But that didn't pan over. It went through anyways. So from this point on, as long as Hamada's in office, Ray Fisher will not work over there. He's going to leave.
now, I haven't seen much of Ray Fisher's work besides, just Justice League, I guess. Justice League, my apologies.
That's right.
And that genuinely didn't leave me wanting any more of his character. No matter what the script was or anything like that was, it was like, you played Cyborg, that's sure who that was. I like that Cyborg more than I like Doom Patrol Cyborg.
True enough.
But he didn't leave me like, oh, I want more of that character. I'm like, yeah.
Well, I mean, that's because he was underwritten. He had so much more of a pivotal role than it became less than anything. So we didn't even get to see his character do anything other than just a few bit pieces here and there. Call it a day.
Watch him attempt to say the word booyah.
I think a big thing was his Cyborg was a walking MacGuffin.
Yeah.
Facts.
Like, that wasn't a character.
He literally gave him nothing. He just underwrote him. He got nothing to do other than talk to computer, save his dad, and go on one last adventure.
The best thing you can say about him was he was physically there. Like, that's, and I don't blame Ray Fisher for that. It's like when you try and go, Kristen Stewart was bad in Twilight. It's because she was told to play a cardboard cutout, so she did. Ray Fisher was told to play a slightly sad computer, so he did.
So he did. And then you took that same script and you took out most of his parts and gave him even less. So like,
what were you expecting?
Yeah, right.
Well, they were probably expecting him not to, stand on a soapbox and be like, "Hi, you're all racist pieces of garbage."
Right.
To which he's right, and he deserves to be heard and things to investigate and people freaking fired.
Yep.
But damn, dude.
Yeah, man.
I'm excited. What's going on? I'm excited to see more, like to see him given a fair shake. That much I'll say.
Snyder Cut. That's what you're getting.
And I guess I'll see where I land on more Ray Fisher if I go watch any other movie he's been in.
If you can find one.
What else has he been in?
That's the question of the fucking century.
Isn't it now?
Let's go on. On the other side of the camp.
Yes, sir. Here you are.
Mm-hmm.
In the red corner.
All right. So, which one do you want me to talk about first, left or right? Because there's not much for either, to be honest with you.
We've already been angry about 1950s stuff. Let's continue with that.
Okay, well, this is just a little friendly reminder to let you know that that's coming out next Friday.
Oh,
the 15th. Yeah. The 15th is nobody talk to me, nobody say anything. I don't want to be on the internet that day. I'm going to be in on WandaVision.
That's out next Friday. And you know what? The show that we do on that Thursday night, I'm going to remind you guys again. So, we're watching that shit. And don't forget it. This is the beginning of the Phase 4. We'll see where it goes, right?
We had a year without Marvel things. My optimism is at an all-time goddamn low. I need this.
Don't be.
Wait,
go ahead.
So I just was wondering, is it going to be like a weekly release like Mando?
Sure is.
Okay.
Yeah, it'll be a weekly release all up until Falcon the Winter Soldier comes out the following week.
That's right.
So basically just like a
9
release
episodes.
And then so it'll be released and then right after boom, next series, then boom, like that.
Literally because we had nothing for a while, and so we're getting all kinds. So thank you.
Gosh damn.
On the other side, though, Loki, which still is coming soon. Already filming season 2.
something good must be
Damn.
happening.
This is a part of Hollywood I'll never understand. How do you greenlight a project that you haven't seen your money-making returns on yet?
I mean,
they
it's
must,
Marvel.
yeah, they must be banking on this thing's gonna be really good because
Or
like
they know how much money WandaVision and Falcon will bring in, like just on approximates. And so they go, you know what? Even if we did 2 seasons, they'll go, you know what? Then it's 2 seasons. But if we get a third out of it,
I don't know, man. You've wrapped up season 1, and you haven't even aired it out, and you've been greenlit for season 2, and you already started filming for that, and haven't even taken a break really. You're already on it.
well, it's
Which is
better
like-
than sending everybody home just to bring them all in just so they can be on 2-week quarantine and get COVID test and blah, 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 blah. Oh, Backstreet Boy
I
test.
suppose, but I mean, goddamn, that's like, I mean, I hear after airing a season, you might get back to work, but like, you haven't shown shit, right?
If
Like,
memory
you
serves me
gotta check
right,
that it works first.
if memory serves me right, Riverdale and Sabrina do this fun thing where they air episode 1 and they are still shooting the finale.
Oh my god, that's wild.
What?
If memory serves me right, that is how they do their series. Because one of the actors on Riverdale was went live on Instagram and said they were shooting the season finale, and episode 1 had just come out of that show.
Well, I mean, 'cause
Oh.
it's filmed like a whole season prior, like a whole year prior almost, right? And then they cycle that shit out.
Yeah.
I mean, like, yeah, you can air it, and then you can still wrap up season 1 and get ready for season 2 like the following like 2 months. But I mean, like, you haven't even shown this show yet.
Right? We barely know what the show's about.
Well, people even like it, like, you don't know, and you're already.
Well, I
doing
mean,
season
I'm
2,
gonna
like,
like it mostly because I like
Well,
You
everything
think they're
about
gonna
it,
fix
but-
the fucking ugly logo for season 2?
No, they're not gonna do shit.
At least they explain the ugly logo.
I don't care. It's hideous. Bad design.
Yeah. Table said, "Yo, F your design. I hate it."
And I'm
sorry to
right.
the graphic- I'm sorry to the graphic designer that's feeling Table's wrath.
No, bro, he or she had fun with fonts. Too much fun.
Fun
Hey,
with
make a
fonts.
logo. Make a logo with Loki's name. They were like, you know what? I'm gonna be creative.
Yo.
I'm gonna use one different font for each letter.
I have a genuine question for you guys.
Yeah, go on.
How do you fuck up a font for 4 letters? Individually.
Don't
I
graduate high
got the
school.
answer. No, wait,
Every
guys.
single one is ugly.
I got the answer.
Mm-hmm.
Graphics design.
No, but like,
Is it your passion?
oh,
Like your
Chipotle is my life.
the show's theme better reflect on that logo. Like it better make sense in some way because that shit looks stupid.
I assume it's gonna be some bullshit with him turning up in the background of a bunch of other movies and shit, where it's like, haha, he's now got to avoid the plot happening, TM. And so that'll be like the joke of a letter from various other properties. But like, I think that's a stupid idea, and I hate their logo.
Great, Tim Hall. Great, we have Loki doing Quantum Leap now.
yeah.
Great.
At least they're not doing fucking Looper.
You ever watch Looper?
My guy, I've seen Looper to like 4 times.
I'm sorry you did.
I have self-respect, so I don't know what that's like.
Oh my god.
Whatever. I have
Table.
none. I watched Jumper. Let's go.
I watched it too.
Table?
What?
Who the fuck pissed in
I'm
your
sorry.
cornflakes?
But you know what? That's all from me. I ain't got nothing else for you other than that news. So tell me about the book.
Mingasi's book.
So,
Okay.
a little bit of backstory about the book. Okay, before we
Mhm, what's the
officially
book?
start going through the book here. Okay?
Yes.
So, the book we chose was Swamp Thing from Future State.
Okay.
This was the book that you requested
Ah, yes.
way back in November when we initially brought Future State to this live show.
Okay.
His design
Yes.
is he looks like the Statue of Liberty.
Mm-hmm.
But there are some things you need to know to set up for this. So real quickly, I'm going to blow through them. So this takes place after Death Metal, right? DC's big, we're going to explode a universe, and by that we're going to explode everything, and then we're going to rebuild it. It was kind of a crisis, but let's call it an anti-crisis, because it restored everything.
Okay.
So now, Batman remembers everything from
Everything, functionally.
Yeah, so everything from Death Metal number 7, which literally just happened,
Okay.
to Detective 27. It all happened.
There is now an ultimate Batman TM.
Everything that was
About it.
told that literally wasn't labeled in Elseworlds happened in order.
Whoa.
I'm not sure how he's
Wait,
not
wait, wait,
87
wait,
years
hold
old.
So
on.
let me explain how
on.
this happened.
Wait. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Back that up again.
Okay.
Go on.
So Wonder Woman, souped up with all the hope in the universe, basically. Let's boil it down that far.
Okay.
It gets
Spear bomb, all right.
basically.
She was
Chats
Sailor Moon,
with
okay.
a hyper-dimensional being
Okay.
and brings back not just Earth, like Earth's, Earth Prime,
Mhm.
but, not just Earth 2, not just Earth 3, not just Earth 4, every Earth.
Oh,
And within
that's
every
what
Earth is every
Yeah.
universe.
Oh boy.
And if you were going to label all the universes and all the things, you now need a new name because the multiverse now doesn't quite cut it. So now DC doesn't call things the multiverse anymore.
Oh boy.
It is
Oh,
now called
no.
the Omniverse.
Oh, okay.
Wait, hold on. Wait. So you mean they literally they undid every crisis then?
Yeah. Crisis
Wait.
on Infinite Earths got undone.
What the?
We
Yo.
uncri-
I mean, that includes identity crisis. Like every crisis has just been undone. Then everything's
Correct.
been done. Zero. Everything's been
Correct.
undone.
It
Wow.
all kind of sort of
Yeah.
happened in its own world, if you want to believe it that way.
But then
You know
it's an
the,
omniverse too, so everything else exists as well.
Correct. DC is now playing its cards and going, hey, you know what? We are done trying to line everything up in a bigger canon. You know what? Fuck it. It all happened.
It all
Here's-
happens.
Whoa.
You know what? Here's the thing. I think this is actually one of the best ways to approach comics canons, given what fans are going to be doing anyway. Fans have, for a very long time, lived the life of you choose what's canon, because otherwise nothing makes fucking sense.
Mm-hmm.
So now DC is gone. Whatever you want to be canon is canon. Do with that what you will, and we fucking will.
You know what, DC? You know what? Thank you. That's one fucking thing you've done good in the last
20 years.
Yeah.
Might I throw one more in its positive direction?
Yeah.
So, they decided that instead of taking their top tier talent for their initial premiere of books, they would dive deep into Aftershock Comics, which is a comic publication that barely anybody's heard of except for probably me and Table.
Okay.
Air Comics, Skyrocket, these other comic publishers that probably take up 0.1% of the entire market, and pull writers and artists from there and be like, hey, you know what? You want to write a Swamp Thing book? You want to write the next Batman? You want to write Harley Quinn? Here's your chance.
Go for it.
Now, Tom
Hey,
Taylor
well,
and your
maybe
Michael
come up-
Bendis's and everybody else is going to jump on later in the third
Yeah.
week of Future State. But Ram
If Bendis
B,
even looks at Batman, I'm going to kill him.
Ram
No.
B,
Yeah.
the writer of our Swamp Thing book, was not writing for DC when he got this job.
Nope.
So
And so if you want to
You
read
know
more
what?
about what the universe now looks like, we're not going to talk about it today. We might talk about it a different day. Go
Can we-
online.
Can we please? Can we please?
We didn't prepare that book. I'm sorry. It's called Generation Shattered. And on the cover, you see Starfire in her big poofy hair, and you've got Batman with his purple goddamn gloves.
Wait,
Okay.
is that one of the books I dropped off for you earlier?
I Captain.
Yeah, there was also Dr. Light on that, which I thought was wild.
right?
She hasn't been in
male or
anything
female?
since pre-New 52, like shit.
And it's
Male
a
or
girl.
female Dr. Light?
Female.
Okay.
Female.
Okay.
So the Future State books that I got were Generation Shattered, the new Wonder Woman who is getting a show, so I had to pick her thing up. The next Batman. Those are the ones I
cool.
picked up, and Swamp Thing.
Yes.
And so
All right.
that's the lead up to Swamp Thing. The other thing you need to know is DC laid out a timeline on where all these books land. So Swamp Thing, this book, takes place in 4500 AD.
Okay.
This is the future.
And when
Okay.
we mean the future, we don't mean like, oh, the Legion of Superheroes are going to show up, because, you know, sometimes they do, sometimes they don't.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
No. The Legion of Superheroes are about 1,000 years down the road.
Really?
We're
So-
like,
Before them.
we're in the stage of the future where you've got fucking Squidward lying on the ground losing his marbles.
Oh,
Oh boy.
Future State.
no, the reference, Paul, that was genius. Holy shit.
So they're telling stories of Swamp Thing in a further future. I dig it.
So-
Okay.
Okay.
We are set up, opening this book now, we are set up that, you know what, Swamp Thing tells a tale of the multiverse coming to an end and new life being breathed in the universe, and then he starts to tell the story on how he is building humans.
Ooh, okay.
Yes. So
if
he
I could
starts
quote
off-
him for a hot
Yes,
second.
please.
As water flows through their xylem tissue, used to make their vocal cords, physical constrictions causes cavitations leading to ultrasonic sounds.
So he figured out how to make plants talk, basically.
Oh.
So
But-
he's gonna be plant people?
He's made plant not going to. He has made plant.
He's
people.
made a plant civilization.
That's my
Holy
boy. All right.
Yes. So it opens up with him talking to a little plant child and telling her a story. And she's like, "Wow, Father Green," or Green Father, whatever.
Close enough.
They swapped the order every now and then, and it threw me off every single time because I couldn't decide if it was a title or not. And she's like, "Heather says we came from your fallen leaves. Is that true?" And he's like, "She says lots of things. Maybe, maybe not. Don't worry about it." And then there's this other fucking guy who's blue and rude. His name
Oh.
is Indigo.
Okay. Aptly named.
He's there. He just kind of talks shit. He turns up several times throughout this issue, specifically to talk shit. He starts saying some rude things, so Swamp Thing just straight up stabs him with a bunch of tentacle things, like vines.
Okay.
And he's like, "Haha, yeah, show the kid what you're really like." And he's like, "You, not worth it," and walks off.
Wow.
After stabbing. Right on.
After he will be fine because again, he turns up multiple times in this issue.
All
Oh
right.
my gosh.
Indigo will not shut up. You cannot make him.
Shut up, Indigo.
No.
Exactly.
So then we go to some of the, I want to call them hunters just because they're out and about, and like looking for things. But that's not really an apt name for plant people. But there are a bunch of plant people who are going looking for stuff. And there's an explosion because in one of the buildings. And they say it might be, they believe it might be a trap left behind by some humans or something. Or like an old human machine that just exploded. And the interesting thing is, what they're actually looking for are humans at the direction of Swamp Thing, because that's what he's asked them to look for. And they're all like, "Yeah, no, it's totally cool. We'll do that." And Indigo's like, "What if we didn't, though? What if we just had fun with things, or did our own thing, or told that big green guy to go fuck himself?" They do not, for obvious reasons, but I think for me, what's interesting with this is I mean, we haven't gotten there yet, but it's part of what Fred's going to talk about. And when he talks about how he gave these plant people emotions,
Yeah.
I have a lot of opinions on that. So we're just there are going to be so many words relating to that and Indigo in a bit. in the explosion, one of the plant people got injured. And it's like, oh, yeah, well, the building was going to collapse on all of them and probably kill them all. And then Swamp Thing just got huge and stopped it from doing that. But there was one guy who was pretty injured. And they say to heal him, they've got to stick him in some dirt and let him get some sunlight and some water. And they'll see if he recovers or not. Because I guess that's how you heal if you're made of being a plant.
That's how plant heal.
I mean,
That's how plants heal.
Oh, yeah. It must be a thing.
Yeah. I mean, they're all green, so they gotta be photosynthesizing.
Right.
Yeah.
But they...
Oh, everybody drink
yeah.
water. Hang on.
Thank you. Water drink. So Swamp Thing talks to the green and kind of pokes it and asks if there have been people nearby. And it tells him that north. People were last seen going north, towards the cold. But where apparently there's a storm in Saskatchewan. Literal quote. He says that, like, that's one of the things he sees. I don't know.
Oh, thanks for noticing.
Like a weird name drop, but okay.
Ooh, Saskatchewan!
Yeah,
One
like,
places.
of all places to mention. Sure.
I was trying to say it like that, but all right, yeah.
Saskatoon, eh? Like, jeez.
Saskatchewan.
I hate it.
So they journey north towards the cold and towards the snow, which apparently there's a lot of snow. And
Throughout this book, and also on screen, there are complete, like, half pages of exactly how Swamp Thing has built these people.
yeah, like, he goes through the mechanisms. It's very cool.
Right?
It looks fantastic. I'm looking at them right now.
Yeah.
Right? So to quote when he's talking about the lungs and how he made that work, like watching a newborn crying. As it takes the first breath, I was filled with wonderment at the sound of water bringing color to their bodies.
Wow.
It's poetic. Like, a lot of this book is very poetic, even when it's just the dialogue of how they talk to each other.
I'll tell you, preemptively, I'm picking up issue 2.
Yeah, absolutely.
Right on.
But
So now in none of it,
when they said they were going north, they were going north.
Wait, are you being serious?
110% says Eureka, none of it. 18 miles north of Eureka, none of it.
Oh,
they were
wow.
really throwing it out there. All right. Welcome
All
to
right,
Canada.
cool. Thanks,
They really
Randy.
said-
Here we are.
They really said past Saskatoon and come up here. Sorry. Anyways.
It's not even a straight line, is what really gets me about that.
Oh, jeez.
Yeah, such a dip.
And we're gonna go this
If
way.
we were going a straight line, we'd be going up through Manitoba.
Oh man.
But whatever.
It
We
is
don't
what it
ask them to know Canadian geography.
That's
is. No, of
fine.
course not.
So when we get to none of it,
Oh,
We-
okay. I don't know. You started a sentence. I assumed you were going to finish it.
I wanted you to finish it.
So I see. They get to none of it, and one of their people gets attacked by some fucko. And obviously it's just some weird creature, some horrible thing that attacked him and killed him and has run off into the snow. So they follow the tracks to a cave, and in that cave there's a man with a spear with green blood on it. And they kind of go, you killed our buddy. What the fuck, bro? And, you know, these are plant people, and this guy is freaking the fuck out. So they take that spear from him and snap it, and they are ready to kill his ass.
Wow.
When Swamp Thing intervenes and goes, no, hold up. That's a human being. That's what we've been looking for. Also, he can't hear us talk to each other because we talk through, like, being plants. So to him, we are silent monsters.
Yeah, we talk in plant speak. He speaks plant speak.
He knows speak.
He don't speak plant.
he doesn't know. Waiting for us, like, how is this gonna be like simplified? It's like he don't speak.
He speak plant speak, guys.
Oh jeez.
Let me speak to him in a tongue he'll understand. You guys go shoo. And So he sits down by a fire with this guy, and they talk. And he asks, did you come from somewhere? Are there more humans around? There are. A bunch of him and a bunch of others left an encampment because there was something weird going on there that gets elaborated on in a minute. And he asks,
As this campfire conversation is going, we get to where and how Swamp Thing made emotions.
Yes.
Emotions were difficult. How does one design for what no one does not understand? I'm just going to read the whole fucking 3 paragraphs here. It's going to be real simple.
It's gorgeous.
The mechanisms were simple enough. Pheromone receptors and transmitters, placed at nodes along the body, mimicking an unspoken language. But whatever they know of a love, joy, fear, anger, all of it, they borrow from me.
And what's interesting is when he's talking to this human, this guy, who he gives us a name. I don't know it. I don't care. The man asks, so what are you? And he says, I'm a thing from a swamp long ago. And so he asks, what are they? They are themselves. So that's an interesting thing to say when realistically they are not themselves. All of their feelings, all of their emotions do not belong to them. Right. Which, in the case of Indigo, is a very interesting one. And let me explain why. Because while Swamp Thing is having this conversation with the human, Heather, one of the named plant people we've got, who is loyal and earlier got in a little spat about going north to hunt humans with Indigo. Indigo going, that's stupid. Heather going, we support you, Green Father, Father Green, whatever. So she storms off after being told to leave because she kind of feels like she's just been dismissed. And Indigo goes, basically goes, ha ha, you're worth nothing now that he's got a real human, just like all of us. And she breaks his fucking jaw. But
oh my god.
Yeah. But what I find really interesting about that is Indigo, his feelings come presumably from Swamp Thing as well. Like, it's weird that he's blue, but presumably that disdain and hatred and mistrust are just as much Swamp Thing's feelings as any of the other ones.
Right.
And I almost wonder if perhaps he's the only one that's found a way to pull at those emotions yet, or if he's the deliberate receptacle for all of those feelings so that none of the others really get them. I don't know. I've got a lot of theories about what kind of weird bullshit mind meld could be going on here.
I hear you. Okay.
Don't mind me. So back at the campfire conversation, the man explains to Swamp Thing why he and his cohorts left. And it's because the leader of their encampment was doing things.
Okay.
Red, since you've got the comic in front of you, do you want to walk us through what exactly they're doing?
Yeah. So they left the Star Fortress. Yeah. So he's telling the story on how how mankind came to an end a little bit, and what the hell they're doing now. When we left the Star Fortress, there was 15 of us. Our children, our parents, and our loved ones, we left them all behind. They called us rebels and traitors. They hunted us, made it out to the flood lakes and beyond. The undying man had us convinced. He had seen the world before, and he claimed it would erase us if we did not fight back.
And then we get through this, we get given the title of this whole arc, because the name of the book was Obsidian Sun, right?
Yeah.
And you go, what the fuck is that? And we don't know, but we know that that's apparently the objective of what lives inside that compound, in the heart of it, in their weird spooky science labs, in what was visibly on page some dude in a pod.
Okay.
And I'll be real, I don't know what this actually means, but Obsidian Sun sounds cool as shit.
It does. It does sound fucking cool.
Now, the only thing that I can draw from our last page splash is that figure in that tube kind of looks like the Dr. Fate image we had earlier in the book.
That's true.
So I'm wondering if that's related, and they figured out a way to harness like the helmet of Naboo and all of Dr. Fate's powers. But that's a guess.
Fair. I'm trying to find something specific right now. Sorry. So, because what I think is interesting here is if Swamp Thing's made human creatures as close to human as possible. That actually reminds me of something Poison Ivy did at one point, where she filled Robinson Park with weird, spooky plant ladies. I'm trying to remember what they were called.
I try to remember. I know what you're talking about. I just can't remember what they're called either.
Yeah, I feel like it starts with an F or something. I don't know.
Yeah.
But given her connection to the green, I'm wondering if like some of Swamp Thing's systems here could be cheated and pulled from her own. Now, I do remember that their psychology was fairly limited. Like they weren't people and they didn't really act like people. So since he was looking to make people, things would be different, but still very interesting. And it makes me wonder if there is any facsimile of Ivy left in this world.
That's like an interesting question too. Yeah, I wonder if she's around. Honestly,
Maybe I imagine in issue 2 we will get like a name drop. I imagine so. But being so far in the future and kind of being the last one left, I don't know if that's possible now.
No, that's fair, because she might just be too human to have made it that far,
Right?
despite her connections to the green.
Apparently, she's just as immortal as he is with that. So, I mean, she should be around.
One would
I guess
imagine.
it really just depends what the writers want to do.
Exactly, that too. Now, Omniverse.
She's only as immortal as the writers feel like letting her be.
This truth.
This is facts. And that was pretty much Swamp Thing number 1.
Okay.
Yep.
It's a very interesting direction. I do like it though.
It was cool.
Yeah,
It was a cool book.
Our other choices this week were Harley Quinn number 1 and the next Batman.
I'm glad we didn't pick the next Batman. It's 65 pages long.
Whoa!
Christ,
They
we
were banking
forgot
on
about
that book too, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah, they did not fuck around.
Wow.
Yeah.
Like, people
So
really
in
did
that
shit.
is not only just its story, it's also like DC is doing this amazing thing. It's the thing that I was hoping DC would do for so very long. A bunch of your characters can't hold a book on their own. Red Hood, I'm sorry, Beastie, can't hold a book on his own for very long.
Yeah, that's why he gets team books.
Right. Red Hood
Sure
and the
do.
Outlaws only goes 30 issues and that's it.
Okay.
But if you put his story in the back of a Batman book,
People will read it.
ta-da,
Ooh.
now you can count those as sales for Red Hood and be like, hey, you know what? What if we did a one-shot that's just Red Hood?
Okay. I dig it.
To be optimistic about what DC's going for right now, because I picked up a bunch of different Future State books just to give it a try, and yeah, I'm willing to hop on board with this.
Okay.
I am super in for everything DC's doing. I'm wholly optimistic that, hey, you know what? Instead of making a plan, you know what? It's all in the plan.
Everything's there.
Everything's there. You want Jonathan Kent John Kent or whatever the heck his full name is. As
John Sam Kent.
that one. If you want to make him your Superman and call him Superman, and you want to send the real Superman to basically Planet Hulk
Mm-hmm.
and make him a warlord,
Mm-hmm.
let's tell that story. Let's not be scared to ruin like the Man of Hope. When you can deal with that, you can figure that out.
And basically turn him into Conan. I dig it.
I will
they're
send.
Getting
I will-
creative again.
Right. We will post a picture on our Twitter at Crusade Nerd of what they're doing with Superman, and the House of L, because that's an entire
so
small
fucking
line of
cool.
books. Oh my god, it's so cool. I'm so hyped about it.
It's pretty. That sounds pretty rad, man. I don't know. Like that's honestly, I don't really read Superman, but like if you made him into Conan, I'm fuck. I'll read
If
it.
you turned him into like War Hulk, I'm in.
you
If
know,
you turned it into
I
World War
dig it.
Hulk, I'm in. I want to read that story
Yeah.
so bad.
I'll read it. Yeah.
So with that, everybody, thank you for tuning in.
Yes.
We appreciate not only our new designs by our very excellent artist, who I believe is still in the chat.
Thank
They
you.
look so good.
We want to thank our amazing artist for being the very first person to subscribe to us this evening.
Thank you.
And
We
we want to
appreciate
remind
it.
you that if you want to follow more of our stuff, you can find us on Twitter at Crusade Nerd. You can find us on Instagram at Nerd Crusade. You can find our sister show, our weekly podcast, our Nerd Crusade podcast, wherever you get your podcasts.
Fair enough.
And so what we are going to do now is we are going to do what's called a raid. Now, usually we would do this for the people that we also follow. So we will right now see who's live that we follow, and we will we'll send everybody there. So give me 2 seconds while I figure that out.
I'd play the harmonica, but I left that downstairs. And also, we are approaching the harmonica curfew that lives in my house.
So what we will do is we will send you guys to the most popular channel on Twitch right now, and that's Games Done Quick. They are playing Star Wars
Yeah.
Jedi Fallen Order.
Right on.
We fucking love GDQ.
Yeah, we do.
So with that in mind, we want to thank you one more time for tuning into our show, and we will see you next week.
Have a good night.
Peace.